us for our final segment in the core components of the IB. Now we're going to talk about a very feared component of the IB, which is the extended essay. We have two students from the class of 2021, Angel Perez and Carolina Abril Morales. They're both going to talk to us a little bit about their projects, their experience throughout the IB, and perhaps give some advice to future students coming into the extended essay. So Mr. Angel, I'd like to hear a little bit about, from your perspective, how would you define the extended essay and how has it been of use in your academic life?
All right, so, well, first I'm going to start off with saying what the extended essay is. So it's a 4,500 word essay and that can be written on the subject of your choice. You can pick any subject that the IB offers, preferably a subject that you're taking as part of your, what is it called? Package, right? IB package. And I'd say that I'd recommend you to write it on one of your high level subjects. But in my case, I decided to do it on one of my standard level subjects. I decided to do it on business, which was a subject that I found really easy. In my own experience, I absolutely dominated the marketing area and the finance area. So, well, obviously, to do this extended essay, we have the whole Diploma program. We have grade 11, grade 12 to get it done. And well, so let me get on with how to write the essay. So, the first thing would be picking your subject. Then, obviously, brainstorm. I mean, after you've picked your subject, you should think about what you want to do it about your subject. Since, I mean, for example, if you were to do it on physics, which I really do not recommend you to do it on physics, since it is really
unless
hard.
You're a really good student in physics.
Or a genius. I took physics myself. I took physics high level, and all my teachers told me not to do it on physics, despite my ability in physics. And of course, there are different things. There's the subject itself, and there's many areas within the subject. There's different units, right? So, for example, in physics, you could do it on mechanics. You could do it on waves. You could do it on thermodynamics. You could do it on, I don't know, but yeah, you get the idea. You could do it on different units about the subject. So, firstly, when you pick the subject, pick what area of the subject that you're taking you want to develop your essay on. So, for example, I decided to choose, like I said, I picked mine on business, and I decided to look into the human resources area of the unit and the marketing aspect of the side of things. Since my essay was about I decided to do it on the automotive industry. I picked to work with Toyota, and my research question was to what extent did Aki Toyoda, that's the new current CEO of Toyota, turn Toyota into a more profitable company since 2009. 2009 was the year in which he became CEO after I forgot the previous CEO's name. And right. So going back to what I wanted to talk about was that first pick your subject, then obviously educate yourself a little bit on the subject that you're taking, but then pick which area of the subject you want to do it on. Then after you've got a clear idea of what you want to do it on, you would have to conduct some research. I had a way of organizing myself in which I was given. My previous school gave me they gave me 2 documents to fill in. One for very much a document, that I put together. It was about obviously you need to write your research question, the area the subject you chose, which area, a brief idea of what you're going to talk, a brief description of what you're going to talk about. Then the research that you've conducted, I'd recommend you to get at least 10 to 20 sources for your essay, since you need to be very knowledgeable on what you were going to talk about, since you want to write a good essay. Then, this goes without saying, you need to pick both the subject and area in which you're very, very personally interested in. This is the personal engagement part, which plays a huge role, since if you're not personally motivated to write this essay, you're not going to want to get it done, and you're gonna end up feeling feeling as if you were forced to it, as because it's a requirement of the IB and you're gonna have to get it over with, and you might not be able to do a great job. So yeah, you would have to like be personally engaged with this essay that you're going to be writing. So well, of course, you need to get the research done. Then, well, you get the research question and everything. Then I would say, after you've got all of that ready, you would have to get sort of an outline, which you would have to write your introduction. I recommend you to get the introduction done as fast as possible, and the conclusion, a brief idea of how your conclusion is going to look like. Get it structured, and then obviously, like the body paragraphs, the points that you're going to talk about. So that goes that's as far as I'll go with what the extended essay is. But I feel like this extended essay has definitely helped me out with my life as a student. As well, before I came to St. Andrews, I was in a different school. I was over there in Qatar, in International School of London. And I'd say I was a different student back then. I was kind of lazy. My approach to studying was different. I had to change my whole mentality. I wasn't the perfect ideal IB student at first. I had to go through a lot of hurdles. I had to overcome a lot of challenges, and one of them was time management. I was terrible at it. I sucked at it. I started grade 12 without having my extended essay topic, whilst everybody else was almost halfway through their essays, or at least done with their outline, and I still hadn't figured out what I wanted to do it on. So I'd say that this has definitely taught me how to become a more organized person. So I've learned to manage my time wisely. Then in terms of, once I finally got my time organized and everything, I had developed my inquirer skills or my research skills, as I had to make sure that I had gotten the sources that I needed, reliable sources that were going to be both relevant and credible for my essay. And so I would say that I've become a better inquirer as one of the IB learner profiles. I've also learned to become more reflective, as I've had to analyze these sources and make sure that of course, first I would inquire, which would be part of the research, and then I would have to reflect upon the research that I gathered, since I had to analyze the sources if it was reliable. Most of the sources that I had used for my essay were secondary sources, and for that reason I had to make sure that they were reliable sources, as I didn't want to say things in my essay that didn't make sense. It needed to be fluid. It needed to be cohesive. It needed to make sense. It needed to be reliable, and so I had to become a better at reflecting on the sources that I used. Then obviously a critical thinker, because I had to make the decisions upon which sources to use, because I had many good sources, but then I had to think about, all right, so which one am I going to use out of all of these? Which one's going to make more sense in the terms of the order that I was structuring it, or which ones to completely get rid of, even though they were a bit too good, since I had to keep my essay within the 4,500 word limit. So I would say that it's definitely helped me out a lot as a student, and how to manage my time more wisely, on how to reflect upon which sources to use, and on how to become a better inquirer, and how to become a better research, and how to become better at research. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Angel. I think your experience gives hope to possible students that perhaps don't feel, as you said, the perfect IB student when they're starting off, but they are capable of turning this around and finding new insight into their extended essay. Ms. Abrid, I'd like to hear a little bit about your experience in terms of how did you go about your extended essay, what advice you would have for future students, and what's the role that this IB component has had in your academic life?
My extended essay is about something I was really passionate about, which was arts, and more specifically to what I wanted to study, that is illustration. So I wrote my extended essay about how Bolivian illustrators portray empowered Bolivian women, And I think this theme was always there. I always knew that I wanted to do it in arts, so that was pretty easy. But the hard part was knowing where to start. I didn't know how to start writing the introduction, or to start writing by the body of the work, or first look for researching. So I was a little confused at first, but I think the best you can do is just start, and everything will start going in place, and you will start to notice where you should start and what should go at the end. So I think that was something that not really everyone can teach you. You just have to let it flow. And that played a really big role in my student life, since, like Angel said, there's a lot of time management in this assignment. It's not from a class that you pass, so you have to make time between all the homeworks you have, and really try to do it your best, because I believe this assignment, wherever you are in the IB or not, is something that you've been preparing to do all your student life. And I think it's something that really can reflect the personality of someone, or how they are as a student, not just a simple assignment. I think the way you write it has to really come from a place of passion and really true interest in the theme, so the reader can really notice how you are interested in what you're writing, and you believe what you're saying, and all of this makes it very true to the reader. And that is something that in my student life really helped me. It really helped me as a communicator, how to say how to give good ideas and make them clear and concrete, and not just give round and round one idea, or not make it clear enough. So I think that was really important in all my in all other parts of my life in school. And also things like creativity and being an inquirer also helped me in many aspects of my student life.
Awesome. Thank you both for sharing your experiences with the extended essay. I think that you've added different perspectives to how students can go about this. One of you going through business extended essay, arts extended essay, and showing different examples of how you can be successful in this process and make it seem less daunting for students in years to come. Thank you for your contributions. It was great to talk to both of you. Muchas gracias por habernos acompañado en esta entrevista bilingüe, donde los estudiantes de la promoción 2021 nos han contado un poco de sus experiencias en TOC, teoría del conocimiento y monografía. Ojalá que al escucharlos hayan podido aprender un poco más de los componentes centrales del IB y sientan que también ustedes, al llegar a esta rama importante de su carrera académica, puedan sobrepasarlos con éxito como lo han hecho ellos. Hasta una próxima ocasión y nos vemos en SAS TV. Gracias.